but they keep bringing up the I think it's Gazprom, that pipeline is going from Russia to Europe.
Yeah.
And ultimately, and when you go into the scriptures, it's prophecy. Europe is going to have to give in and align themselves with Russia. You know, especially with what the scriptures say and what the I don't want to jump the gun, you know, but what's going to go down with America aligning themselves with these rats over there in Israel, you know, but America's going to do something to where Europe is going to turn their backs on America and join up with Russia.
Well, the scriptures say they're gonna get the power to the beast.
Yeah,
meaning that NATO and the EU. So right now, NATO and the EU are pretty much allies to America, but it's gonna come a point to where they're gonna say fuck America. They might not necessarily side with Russia like that, but they ain't gonna be joining arms with Russia, so to say. But they're gonna be the EU and NATO is going to be confederate with themselves to say fuck America. You know what I'm saying? And
I was going to say too, because just going back to what you said, because you got Gomer, which is Turkey, that's in NATO, but they're not in the EU. You know, so they're part of the beast, but they're not a part of the 10 horns that's upon the beast. So you got the 10 horns is going to align themselves. It's going to give their powers to the beast, like the brother said. Like the scripture say. You got it, bro.
Just real quick.
Read it in the scripture.
Yeah. This is Revelation 17 and 12. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast." And the 10 horns mean the EU. And that came about, the Treaty of Rome, January 1st, 1958. And it says, "These have one mind," okay, the EU, "and shall give their power and strength unto the beast," which is NATO. "These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them," or Yahushua and the angels, "for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and few."
Faithful.
Faithful. Chosen and faithful, jump down to verse 16. "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which shall hate the whore being America, and shall make war, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth." So pretty much NATO and EU, the EU nations is going, because NATO is like the army force of the the EU, which even though NATO includes Turkey, America, Canada,
outside countries,
outside of Europe,
outside of that conglomerate.
Yeah. But eventually, those EU nations is going to pretty much give their power over to NATO, and NATO is going to destroy America, along with China's going to shoot missiles, Russia, so on and so forth. Just throwing that out to clear that up.
Back in the article, it reads, it says, "The mill also warned those responsible for the ship's journey."
Did you have one on that, or was you going to read the
Oh, yeah. Ezekiel 38:5. It says, "Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah and the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee."
Yeah, because notice the countries that's being backed by Russia, it didn't mention European nations like that. The only one would be Turkey. You know what I'm saying? Which Turkey did since we've been in the truth, they've been Ain't no telling whether they want to get away from the EU and you know, or NATO, excuse me,
NATO,
or you know, even when the shit popped off with Syria, remember, like didn't they shoot down one of the Syrian jets? Remember that? Where the pilots had died or something like that.
It was a Russian jet.
Oh, it was a Russian jet. There we go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's them. Which they're Amalekites anyways, and they're bugged out.
Yeah, they're playing defense.
Yeah.
They're playing defense.
Yeah, because they come against America too.
Mm-hmm.
Because they condemn America about some shit they did.
Yeah.
So they don't know if they're coming or going.
Yeah.
That's
double money.
what they say in the card games. They're a wild card.
Yeah.
That's the wild card. Right
Yep.
Yep.
I want a wild card, man.
They remind me of
Reminds me of the Seahawks.
They remind me of this. And for anybody out there in the YouTube land that used to pay attention to Transformers, there used to be this one Transformer called Sideways, and he used to play both sides, man. He used to be one moment he's an Autobot, the next moment he's a Decepticon, man. And he used to play both sides. Whichever one was more beneficial to him, that's the side he was on. That's kind of the role that Turkey's playing, man. That's the ideal that comes up to me is that's the role that Turkey's playing. Whichever one's going to benefit them is the side that they're going to be on at that time. And the next moment when it's not benefiting them no more, they're on the opposite side,
Who had that song? Paul Wall? Sitting
sideways. Yeah.
Boys in the days.
Yeah.
That's exactly them niggas is sideways in the fucking days, man. They're just lost in confusion, man. That's weird, man.
Pause, didn't it?
Esau.
Yeah, because the scriptures tell you let your yea be yea, your nay be nay.
Anything
Be
other
hot or
than
cold, man.
Anything other than that?
It comes with evil.
Evil. Yeah, or you got to be hot or cold, man. You have to stand on something. Shit, man. You can't just be willy-nilly just shooting from the hip, man. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna read this just real quick. This is from Reuters, dated March 3rd, 2021. It says Turkey has stopped insulting us, but action still needed. France says. It says Turkey has stopped insulting France and the European Union, providing some reassurance, but ties will remain fragile until it takes concrete action. France foreign minister said. So you got Turkey insulting France and the European Union, because even though Turkey is, the border of the Europe and the Middle East, it's and a member, and Asia, it's a member of NATO, but it's not a member of the EU. It says Ankara has repeatedly traded barbs with Paris over its policies on Syria, Libya, the Eastern Mediterranean, and other issues. But the NATO members said in February they were working on a roadmap to normalize relations. So you got shit going on between NATO countries and EU countries.
Which causes division.
Mm-hmm.
Can I read this real quick, just because we was quoting this just a bit. This is Matthew chapter 5 verse 37. It says, "But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay, for whatsoever is more than these cometh evil."
Mm-hmm.
So the point being that you gotta choose one side or the other, because you can't choose two masters. You can't serve two sides, man. You can't be halfway loyal to this and halfway loyal to that, man. You have to be all in on one side or all in on the other, because anything past that is going to be more confusion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you get when you're part of the EU and you're a part of NATO. Well, which one are you going to be more loyal to? You're going to be more loyal to the smaller version, which is the EU, or are you going to be loyal to the larger thing, which is NATO? Just as the United States. This is the problem that the United States have. Because you got this whole country talking about, yeah, okay, we're masked up, we're all in this together type of shit, and then you got states popping out like, hey, we're dropping all of it, Mississippi and Texas, we're dropping all of this, no more. Look, go on about your business, let us be free, let us just do our normal thing, which is going to cause division, it's going to cause confusion, it's going to cause, it's going to cause all kind of strife. Because it's not everybody saying yay, yay, and nay, nay. It's all this in between stuff which causes division. That's my piece.
One more verse. Ezekiel 38:7. Be thou prepared and prepare thyself. Prepare thyself, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And that's talking about Russia. For all them nations that were listed, Russia's going to be a guard unto those other nations. When America comes up against them, and that's why you're going to have Russia giving out weaponry to those nations, giving out aid to those nations to come up against America. For the destruction, for the prophecy.
And that's why it's called a world war, because Russia has its people that's going to side with them, and Russia's going to side with its people, and same thing for America. It has nations that are on side with it, and it's going to side with them. That's how it becomes a war. Allies. I'm just putting it dumb terms for those that understand. Allies. However you want to splice it.
You got certain treaties between countries where it's like, look, if we get into some shit, you gotta back us up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how all these countries is gonna end up in World War III, because you got certain countries that ain't known for being a military powerhouse, but they get aid from certain countries. So they're like, okay, we'll give you all these goodies, but hey, if we gotta call on you to have our back, you know what I'm saying, then you got to come support us. So that's how all these nations is going to end up over there in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying, in the Valley of Jehoshaphat.
That's why with this stimulus package that was just passed, that's why all these other countries got this much millions of dollars of aid and this much millions of dollars of aid, because they're allies with America. America got a foothold with those countries in some way, somehow, whatever it may be. But that's the reason why these other countries are getting so much aid in these this $1 trillion package that's being passed by the American government.
Yeah, but they're constantly trying to decrease what they're giving America and increase what they're giving all the rest of these countries, which is weird. But that's another topic.
Yeah, I'm on the article.
Reading back in this article, it says. Gamaliel also warned that those responsible for the ship's journey must pay the price, and that the operator of the ship has blood on his hands. The minister said there was circumstantial evidence to support the claims, and that despite a lack of forensic evidence, all other sources from the spill had been ruled out. Sound like Tiger Woods. They ruled out this nigga was drunk without even putting a test for it. It's like, what? This nigga crashed his car and all this shit, but you guys said he wasn't drunk because he didn't seem impaired. Let that be any average nigga. Instantly, even if he even seemed sober, they would have given him a test. Just because he's a nigga. But it's Tiger Woods. They didn't give him a test. Salaki, I digress. Going back into the article, it says Iran has not yet commented on the allegations. Some 1,000 tons of black tar from the oil spill has washed up on more than 90% of Israel's coast.
90%, bro. More than 90%. The whole coast is got black shit just all up. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That is that's judgment ultimately.
Hey, don't Jake be having them songs all black everything?
Yeah.
Israel got all black everything.
They got all black beaches.
Yeah, buddy. Okay, it says some 1,000 tons of black tar from the oil spill has washed up on more than 90% of Israel's coast, according to the country's Environmental Protection Ministry. Following the incident, the government warned Israelis not to go to the beaches to swim or do sports or leisure activities until further notice.
But ain't they on lockdown and shit?
Supposed to be. It says earlier this week, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu blamed Israel for explosions.
Blamed Iran.
Oh, slack. Blamed Iran for explosions which struck an Israel-owned ship in the Gulf of Oman last week.
Yep. So it's there's all kind of shit going on in the Middle East dealing with Amalek. that we don't see like that, and the scriptures say that the Lord will have war with Amalek
continually or forever or something of the. It's one of those words. It just roughly phrasing it. The Most High is gonna keep that war with Amalek, man. He's not gonna let that go. Basically. Until they consumed.
He has a hatred. He has an indignation, which is a righteous hatred towards Esau, Edom, and you Jews are not excluded from Esau, Edom.
Precept.
Got it.
This is Exodus 17:14. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah Nissi. For he said, because Yahweh hath sworn that the Lord Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
You hear those two words though? I heard memorial and rehearse. Those two things are staples for it to continue on and on and on, period. You know what I'm saying? Make it a memorial, a remembered monument. Rehearse it. That means the Lord ain't playing, man. He wants us to practice the indignation that he has towards them fucking Jews. Jewish, I should say.
Rats.
Them rats.
Real quick, I want to look this word up real quick. This is the word rehearse. Exodus 17:14. The word rehearse comes from the Hebrew 7760, and it's shawam. And in the Strong's definition, it says to put, use in a great variety of applications, literally, figuratively, initially, that's a tongue for
Yeah,
initially.
What does that even mean?
Inferentially, it means by way of inference, through inference. And elliptically, it says anywise appoint, bring, call, a name, care, cast in, change, charge, commit, consider, convey, determine, disguise, dispose, do, get, give, heap up, hold, impute, lay, leave, look, make out, make, name, ordain, order, paint, place. Pretty much what it's getting at is make sure the children of Israel, well he said, and the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book. This is verse 14, Exodus 17, verse 14. And rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. So pretty much make sure Joshua understands the judgment of Amalek. That's pretty much what it's getting at.
Mm-hmm. Can I say something real quick? Just on that word inference, and this goes back to the conversation earlier with Esau, how they'll
conclude.
Yeah, and it don't be true.
It's off of. Let me read this definition. I just looked it up, bro. I'm hearing inference and all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck does it even mean?
Let that brother get his.
If I could, because it just goes with the brothers just read. Select it. Inference, it says a conclusion or opinion that is formed because of known facts or evidence. And this ties back to what you were saying too earlier, with how Esau, they'll conclude some shit off of. They don't have the actual evidence. What was it?
Circumstantial evidence?
Yeah, circumstantial evidence. They don't have any circumstantial evidence, or what was the other word? Forensic evidence. They don't have forensic evidence. But this word is totally opposite of that, because it says that it says a conclusion or opinion that is formed because of known facts or evidence. So you actually know. You
got forensic evidence.
For a fact, you know this is it. You know. Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot, bro. Yeah.
Oh no, I had the word infer, which is the root of all of it. You know what I'm saying? And it reads to derive a conclusion, or to derive as a conclusion from a fact or premise, and it gives you putting it in proper text. It says we see smoke and infer a fire. So we see smoke, we see the smoke. Oh, it's a fire, but it's only a instance. So the fact that there's smoke brings your mind to this fire, not like, even knowing what it really is.
It's like jumping to a conclusion.
Yeah.
Or assuming.
Yeah, assuming. Off of something that you know what it is, you know it's smoke, but then you're assuming that it's a fire. Not that somebody's burning incense, not that somebody's barbecuing, not that the fireplace is running. It's just, you know.
Could be one of them fog machines at the club.
Yeah. But you see how they use inference. They use inferring. But when you go to the root of the word infer, what it means, you got a conclusion based off what you're assuming it to be.
Or what about certain big cities where they had the smoke come from underground through the Ninja Turtle shit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's not steam or vapor, that's smoke. Yeah. It's a fire in the ground. Yeah. God damn it, magma's coming out the earth.
Get the fire department.
It's a fire.
The definition do say a conclusion or opinion that is formed because of known facts or evidence. So I say Salakia because you cleared that up. You cleared it up because just like you said, just because you see smoke don't mean it's a fire.
Don't mean it's a fire. No, don't mean it's a fire, man. No, it's all good, bro. It's all good. We a body, baby, for a reason. But you know, just to get to the root of what we're talking about. That's all. Hey, everybody's needed, man. This thing, man. But man, fuck Esau, man. This is all double speak, man.
It's confusing.
But I learned a lot. Just.
Yeah, the words. That's why the apostle goes into the words being powerful.
I'm digging to words.
Getting the words.
Can I read this?
Mm-hmm.
It says the act of passing from one proposition, statement, or judgment considered as true to another, whose truth is believed to follow from that of the former.
That's that damn documentary you was watching.
Bullshit, bro.
That they inferred, right?
Esau is a bitch.
Remember they found the blood drops inside the hotel room. You know what I'm saying?
They inferred.
And off of that, they inferred that the body must have been there. The body must have been here. You know, because they brought the dogs through. The dogs confirmed it and shit. So they really tried to pin it on those parents as the parents killed this kid. When realistically, these parents are just looking for their missing ass kid.
Man, come on, bro. You know? I have a child. So you gonna tell me my child's not gonna get injured in my goddamn house? He's not gonna stub a toe or cut his fucking fingers.
They're on vacation. They're in a hotel room.
They're in Morocco.
Who's to say? The point is, who's to say whose blood it is? Who's to say what? If there was a body there, who's to say that it wasn't there before these people got how many years back or whatever? Because they recognize that these dogs they can smell a body that's been there for a short amount of time for 40 years or something like that.
Yeah, they get the dog. They got cadaver dogs and blood dogs. Dogs that can sniff a cadaver. It can be a body that was buried somewhere for a couple days, and then the body. You can find the body and take the body and do whatever with it. Yeah. But 40 years later, that scent, the dog can still pick up on the scent of a cadaver being there at that spot. And then you got a blood dog that they're trained to be able to smell blood. They did a test where they put blood on a shirt.
One drop of blood on a white shirt on a shirt, and then they washed it
3 times.
3 times.
And the dog is still smelling blood.
Yeah, you can still fucking pinpoint right there. That's what blood was at.
And that's those 2 dogs was what they was using to try to put the blame on the parents. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you smell blood, but where's the forensic evidence to prove that it was the child's blood first and foremost? And you know,
that's what it comes back to is the infer.
Mm-hmm.
It's the inference. It's the assumption. You know,
based off of a fact that they believe to be a fact. Okay, there was blood here. It was the boy's blood.
Yeah,
it had to be.
But that's what will get people in trouble, man. Even in its truth, that assumption, like we say, it makes an ass out of you. Like the brother said, presumptuous. It makes an ass out of you and me. Mm-hmm. We're not to be assuming in this truth, nor or you know what I'm saying. But when we see people that assume things, they get it wrong, and then it's wrong. We're dealing with truth, man.
Yeah.
We're dealing with 100% truth. We got facts right here within our hands, man, which we believe through faith. It doesn't matter if Esau wants to assume this or assume that. We're gonna deal with exactly what this is right here and right now. All right. Now this isn't exactly what's that topic at hand with what we're talking about. We're dealing with Israel and that boat from Iran, but this is to bring it back to where it's relatable to us. All right. We're dealing with this truth, man. We don't infer. Okay, we don't assume, we don't do any of that. We're reading an example of how they inferred and they assumed, and now they've made this big statement that could lead to people losing lives, man. Mm-hmm. You know, it could lead to something that's big and huge and can drag the whole world into a war.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Which we pray it does. Yeah, we pray it does. You know?
Oh, no, I didn't read it.
That's all I have to say. We pray it does. Shoot, that's all I got to say.
It's going to happen.
Hey, I don't want to run this on. Shoot.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to sound sympathetic towards anything.
No.
I'm just putting that point out there just to show how strong that is. That's why we don't do that. That's why we don't infer things. We don't assume things. Yeah. It's because the consequences could be so drastic and dire.
It could be detrimental.
It could be detrimental. Now those rats that's in our land, you know what I'm saying? They let them do whatever they do. Let the Most High work with them how He works with them, because their end is already set. Mm-hmm. All right, and we're waiting for it patiently. You know.
Let them niggas infer all the way into a missile.
All the way into a missile, man. I don't no love, no pity for them, no pity for iniquity. All right.
Hey,
plug,
yeah.
Personal
bring that up.
Okay, this is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 45. It says, "Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Bashmal Shai, that He hath taken against Babylon, and His purposes that He hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely He shall make their habitation desolate with them. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, their cry is heard among the nations." So what this is talking about is them Israelis are going to do something, and they're already doing it pretty much. You know, it's just going to keep building up. You know, it's going to keep building up and building up to where these people are going to be like, man, we sick and tired of these people. You know, we sick and tired of these Israelis. All right, they're constantly accusing us of this and that, and we ain't doing nothing to them. You know, they're getting their enriching their uranium. You know, but they're not putting it out there in the media. But we can't do that. We can't do it for ourselves to defend ourselves. So these nations are the Most High is gonna have it to where these nations are gonna get fed up. Mm-hmm. All right, the Most High is gonna put it into their minds to come up against them, and who's gonna align themselves with them? America, man. Okay, Israel's gonna do something. It's gonna draw America out over there to the Middle East. Okay, ultimately, like totally, their whole military is gonna go over there to the Middle East, and then that's where you're gonna have your World War III. All right, the all nations drawing down there into the Middle East, because America's a big deal. America talk about sending their whole army over there to the Middle East. Nations gonna be like, oh hell no, you know, and we're gonna send all our armies over there. Okay, and who's gonna spearhead it? Gog and Magog. All right, Russia. You know, so that's what all this is leading to. The least of the flock bringing the least of the flock being them Israelis, them fake Jews over there, bringing all these nations over there into the Middle East. All right, the valley of Jehoshaphat for judgment from Yahweh Bashmal Shai. You know. Oh,
it's only so long they're going to be pushed around before they're like, enough is enough.
And I was just going to add, it says in verse 46, the noise of the taking of Babylon, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard from among the heathens, which ties up with Revelation 18. America being destroyed, and then all the nations howling for her destruction, you know. Earth willing to and fro.
Yeah. Did you have more on that scripture?
I know, that's it.
Real quick, this is Revelation 12 and 10. It says, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night." And that's some Israelis. Like we were saying, infer those, they got they're trying to come with a fabricated circumstantial evidence and all that to try and accuse us to the Most High as pretty much being wicked. You know what I'm saying? When they're the ones who has us in this predicament. You know, they control everything and they know who we are. Therefore, they put us in these conditions. You know what I'm saying? But I know you got something.
This is Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 20. "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom and his purposes." I'm sorry, and his purposes. No, I said that right. That he purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them.
The least of the flock is them Israelis. You know, they're the ones that's gonna do something that's gonna cause all these nations to go to war. Like T.I. had a song, "Bring them out, bring them out." You know what I'm saying?
In other words, they're gonna get it popping.
Get it popping. They're gonna do something stupid to where the nations is gonna meet up at that playground.
Yeah.
3 o'clock. You know what I'm saying?
Don't meet me there, meet me there.
Don't meet me there to hand out some black eyes. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like at the track meet, the race. It can't start until they blow that gun. Pop. You know, that's what Israel's gonna do. They gonna blow that gun so the race can actually start. So everybody can actually get it. Or the whistle in a basketball game or the whistle in a football game to actually get the thing rolling.
Yeah.
You know.
You dead right where you standing. Bang.
It says the earth is moved at the noise of their fall, at the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea.
Yeah. So that those missiles, man. All right. When all these armies shoot off missiles and all that, hey, the earth is gonna be moved. The scriptures say the earth shall roll to and fro like a drunkard. You know what I'm saying? So over in the Middle East, in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, being Saudi Arabia, where all the nations is gonna link up to dance, as they say, to tango. That destruction is gonna be so grievous on the earth that it's gonna cause the earth to move, man. Tsunamis, like here it is.